assembly is innovative solutions for environmental challenges and sustainable consumption and production. 15 months ago, when I started to prepare for this assembly, the main recommendation I got from the member states, different ministers from all over the world, was that the outcome, including ministerial declaration, should be ambitious and it should be action-oriented. So my aim has been to keep the declaration as concrete and as ambitious as possible. After all, I would like to see some results of this declaration already during my lifetime. However, in real negotiations, we need to find a balance between the ambition and the sense of realism. And I'm glad to say that last week the Member States delegations endorsed draft ministerial declaration of the Assembly, and in this I invite my colleagues from all over the world to strengthen public-private partnerships for accelerating the uptake and upscaling of eco-innovation, to improve national environmental monitoring systems and technologies, to reduce single-use plastic products by 2030, and to unlock new capital for sustainable investments and upscale sustainable business models. Even more than anywhere, results in global environmental policy can only be achieved in collaboration. So it is important to find consensus here. And we, the environment ministers, we have to reach out actively to private sector, civil society, citizens and academia. When we talk about economic growth, it usually means more pressure on the environment and more use of natural resources. But it does not have to be that way. We can change the economy by using innovation and honest, comparable environmental data. And we can decouple the economic growth from resource use and environmental degradation. I strongly believe that information and communications technology is the key to optimize all our activities and increase our resource efficiency. I have learned that for me the numbers and facts speak better than reversed documents, so here are some facts. 2 billion people worldwide lack access to solid waste collection services. 64 million people are directly affected by uncontrolled dumping and open burning at dump sites. 8 million tons of plastics enter the ocean every year. I believe these numbers are a good reminder that we simply cannot continue on our current path. And if you ask me what, for me, are the most important topics discussed here, I'd say 2 priority topics for me. First, plastic. Don't get me wrong, plastic is a very good material. It's durable, it's flexible, it's light in weight. And we should not treat it as an enemy. Actually, we should treat it with respect, and this means that we should make the best out of it for as long as possible instead of disposing of it. So we need to reduce significantly single-use plastic products, and that's where innovation kicks in. There are already many innovative alternatives for single-use plastic products. So instead of producing and buying things that can be used only once, let's be creative and make the best out of it. And my second priority is environmental data. If we don't have comparable data, we cannot measure the trends and developments. And if we don't measure, we don't know what we are doing. So we need to agree on data standards and harmonizing the data we exchange. And one more thing I would like to say is that we need to learn more about the actual environmental innovation. We talk a lot about it, but we need real examples to be demonstrated, and therefore I kindly suggest you to visit our Sustainable Innovation Expo, where success stories from all over the world are represented. Thank you.
Good afternoon, colleagues. First, let me really thank you for coming to the first day of the United Nations Environment Assembly. I would like to echo Minister Kiesler's comments on expressing our deepest condolences again to the victims of the Ethiopian Airlines crash. Since I know you have questions, I'm going to try and be very brief, complementing what Mr. Kiesler has mentioned, and then we can have a conversation through questions and answers. I think if you step back and look at where we are today, 2019, it is our view, this is the time to actually make a dent, make a difference in the environment. If you look ahead, starting with the Assembly, we have quite exciting global platforms to engage with different partners, governments, private sector, media, civil society on issues around environment. But let's drill down, and I would like to focus on what do I see as the issues that we are facing. I see, and I'm simplifying, I see three enormous opportunities to make a difference. One is around addressing climate change, stopping biodiversity, and consistent with the theme of the Assembly, awakening consumers and producers to their actual environment footprint. And that's the message around innovations for sustainable production and consumption. The good news is if we tackle just some of these issues in the next few years, we can solve quite a lot of problems that are facing the planet today. But also we have a sense of urgency. We are approaching 2030, the Sustainable Development Goals. We will have to show progress very, very quickly. So the question becomes, what do we do? We can do this in 5 ways. One is we need to rethink our economies. They must become more circular. That means we should reduce waste, reuse materials, and rethink about the production process. Second, we need to acknowledge the real value of nature. Most of the economies, including this country, for example, depend a lot on biodiversity, tourism, as part of their economic income. For too long, nature has been absent from balance sheets, but it's not, and we all know that nature is not an inexhaustible resource. Natural capital must be viewed as we do financial capital. And third, we need smart urban planning. Over half of us live in the cities. By 2050, the estimates indicate over 2/3 will be living in the city. When we get cities right with things like better waste management and clean transport, we improve the quality of life for billions of people. And there are some good examples out there of initiatives and policies that are doing that. Fourth is around the area of clean cooling. Demand for air conditioning and refrigeration is set to skyrocket. We need smart technologies that can meet the demand without harming the planet. And lastly, we need to drop the usage of fossil fuels as our primary energy source. They have served us well for centuries, but we have technologies now and innovations that may give us same result with minimum impact on the climate. So we need to convert wholesale to renewable sources of energy. Now these big challenges and opportunities do not have geographical boundaries, we are truly global. And that's why UN Environment, together with the Presidency and Minister of Environment, we are gathering here. We're expecting over 4,000 participants from government, civil society organizations, business, academia, media, and youth. These problems need innovation. That's why we've been highlighting the way people around the world are solving problems, including indigenous innovation. So I'm confident that we will make some headways this week with member states, and it's why we're all here. Thank you very much.